I want to talk a little bit about cancel culture and conservatism. And I'm going to tell you up front, I don't care what you think about it. I'm not trying to make anybody mad, but if you know me, I don't give a crap. Conservatives are always asking, why we don't win at stuff, and why do we get in these situations? And I'm going to answer it today. So we've got this thing that's everybody's talking about called cancel culture, right? How do you cancel 80 million people who supported Donald Trump? 80 million people who are of voting age. How do you cancel them? So if every one of those people decided, I'm going to give $1 every month to this, whatever it may be, let's call it a conservative kitty. What could happen with $80 million? $30 a month, $80 million a day going into this kitty. What could you change? We complain all the time. Oh, Facebook is taking me off. They did my page or whatever. I said years ago that Facebook was never going to be good to us. Facebook, Twitter, Google, all of them. We know the game. None of them are going to be good. You're still on it, which I don't care. But here's what I will tell you. Let me tell you what I did. And I'm not saying it like oh, woe is me. I'm just going to explain to you why we don't win. So 6 years ago, I started a thing called TeaPartyCommunity.com, which is a social media site that looked just like Facebook. And I said, let's move people over. 300,000 people moved over. Wow, Kevin, what a success. Everybody complaining, and we got 300,000 people to move over. So I'm hundreds of thousands of dollars into a system that nobody wants to come over to. And we find ourselves in the same situation today, except now there's 10 of them. MeWe, Gab, Spreely, Parlay, blah, blah, blah. They're all over there. Do you think that any of them is a serious competitor to Facebook or Twitter or whatever? The answer is no. And it's a very simple formula, folks, because conservatives talk a lot of shit. That's what they do. They talk it, but they don't move over. They don't support it. I repeat, 80 million people voted for President Trump. 80 million voting age Americans. Americans. People who understand this problem. They didn't move over. I sound this warning bell alarm 6 years ago saying these guys are going to kick our asses if we don't do something different. And we didn't. But here's the good news. 80 million Americans, the majority of the voting population, want to do something different. There is no cancel culture if we decide we're all going to move from one thing to the other. If we all decided today that we are not going to shop at Target, that we are not going to drink Coca-Cola or whatever the thing is, and I'm not talking about boycotting, I'm talking about voting with your conscience, voting with your passion. Don't buy Nike. Don't use Twitter. I don't know, or only use it to take from it. Don't do anything to give to it. Only take from it. If you take enough from Zuckerberg, he will get the picture. Don't put your stock. Don't buy stock. Don't buy anything from it. Look, here's what we've done. I've got two beautiful ladies that do a podcast for Seeking Educational Excellence, Kim and Vic. We can't get any traction with them. These are amazing women that you should be watching. You should be searching them out. And what are they addressing? A critical issue in America, education. SeekingEducationalExcellence.org. Kim and Vic are our spokespersons for that. Two beautiful, intelligent Black women that can speak on these subjects like you wouldn't believe. What is our big beef? Oh, people are too dumb. People don't really understand things. They can't critically think. What do you think C, we call it C, what do you think it addresses? Exactly that. We're doing virtual seminars about critical thinking. Do you think anybody's excited about it? How much money do you think? Do you think that the benefactors, the conservative movement who understands what's being taught right now in K through 12 in colleges and universities, critical race theory, a racist doctrine, in your face racist, do you think that they're going, boy, that Kevin Jackson, he set up a 501c3 to address that. Let's all put our $1, our $80 million for this day into that, because that would get him complete. Do you know what I could do with $80 million in education? I would shut down the teachers' unions. So we're addressing critical race theory, toxic masculinity, feminist bullshit, where all these other things that the left are trying to sell to our kids. Do you think that people are clamoring to get over and say, boy, that Kevin Jackson, he's doing it. Kim and Vic are explaining it. Let's get behind them. You jackass conservatives who talk a bunch of stuff. Woo! Look at what we do. And you know what they say? Well, it's my money, and I'm going to go do my own thing. I'm going to go do this over here. Well, how good is that? I've been doing this for over a decade, and I'm good at it. My team is excellent. We're not just good; we're excellent at it. And I will never beg anybody for $1. I will never beg you, but I will tell you this. When you want to support something, support it. Because if you want to know how the Democrats are winning, that's how they win. Now, let me just give you the flip. If I was anti-education, if I was pro-education the way it is right now with this bull crap, if I was for that and I started seeking educational excellence under the guise of promoting critical race theory, different conversation. We'd be flush with money. They would be flush. I would be the belle of the ball to go do anything I want with these leftists, because they would be saying, man, look at this educated brother talking this smug stuff we want. They would be selling it. I'd be all over academia. I'd be getting honorary PhDs. They'd be giving me Dr. Jill PhDs at Harvard and every other school that you can name, because I would be preaching their shit. That's why. Now, go back to social media. Can you imagine if I was building a social media site and I was doing it just like Zuckerberg and them, a black dude, high tech, man, I would be a multi-billionaire at this point. They would be mentioning my name with Zuckerberg and Dorsey and others, because I would be the guy shutting down people on the left. Can you imagine with the level of intellect that I have, if I went against the conservative movement and did this, where I would be? So for the sellout, who could easily go to the other side where leftism would support me beyond belief, and I stay here. The other thing, pop culture. Kevin, we're losing the culture. Everything my team does is to address the other side, the things that we complain about. That's what we do. We solve problems. So what do? I started theflickfest.com, a movie streaming site that is like a Netflix. If you like Netflix, use Netflix. But if you want to get somebody who doesn't have Susan Rice on her board, or Paul Ryan, or whomever, who isn't making Obama movies, who wants to give independent filmmakers a chance and give you the stuff that I think you want to watch as conservatives, I started it. Do you think that people are going, woo, look at this brother out there doing something, challenging pop culture, going on the other side of it? No, because conservatives talk a lot of shit. You don't do jack. Candace Owens is doing this. She's overdoing. Look, I don't care what Candace is doing. Congratulations to her. But this is something that solves a problem, and we don't support it. Is it rifling through social media and all that? Well, Kevin, you're shadow banned. Shadow ban my ass. If somebody wants to spread something, they can spread it. Now, here's the good news. I always say it's all God's plan. God got me up this morning and said, Kevin, I'm going to put this on your heart for you to tell conservatives what the hell their problem is, because you're one of the few people who's willing to say it and say it publicly. Look, I don't care what people are doing. I applaud everybody out there doing their part. The Candace Owens, my good friend Brandon Tatum, many others, David Harris Jr. And I'm not just talking about black folks. I'm talking about Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, all of them. Congratulations. But you know what we do? We do a ton of good stuff at a fraction of the social media, getting a fraction of the budgets of these other folks. And we still get up and we do it with a smile on our face, because we understand the deeper meaning of it. I understand to be effective in education, to go after school boards, to actually go after, we're sponsoring legislation for transparency, where every parent gets to know exactly what's going to be taught to their students. And they don't have to go look for it. The school district must provide it. Things like this. This is the stuff that matters. We started I killed the social media site 1.5 years ago because I got tired of being frustrated with conservatives. Well, my frustration has finally boiled over to the point where I'm going to tell you about your damn selves. And that's what I'm doing today. Now, if this goes viral, congratulations to everybody. If it doesn't, ask me if I care. But I'm going to tell you about yourselves, whether I preach to the walls or I preach to 50 million people. Because if you want to understand why cancel culture works, it's because leftists will protect you as long as you tell their lies, you spew their nonsense, they will protect you no matter what. But there is no cancel culture, because when you tell the truth, there are 80 million plus conservatives who should be ready to rally behind you and make it happen, and not go, well, it's my money and I can do it. You're damn right it's your money. And liberals, let me tell you what they're doing. They're taking your money and they're putting it into things that they decide they want to put it into. So if you want to protect your money, you ought to get behind real warriors, people willing to fight for you, people willing to get up every morning and kick liberals in their little skinny asses and go to work every single day, undaunted, fearless. Bring your liberal to me. I will make a platter for their ass. That's what Kevin Jackson's team does. I'm out.